She introduced me to her friends. He's just my cousin. When they saw us having dinner, I just smiled and nodded. The following weekend, at a fancy party, her face fell when she saw me hand in hand with a beautiful girl, wearing the diamond ring she had always dreamed of. Emma and I were having dinner together, just the two of us, at this little Italian place she likes. Nothing fancy, not some big crowded restaurant, just a normal spot where we could eat and talk. I was in my usual work clothes, sleeves still a little dusty from the sight, boots that probably had paint on them. Totally normal for me. Totally not normal for her world. And then her friends showed up, just walking by, laughing, dressed in their designer outfits, all high energy and perfect. Emma froze. I could see it in her face. Before I could say anything, she leaned over and whispered, "Oh, he's just my cousin." I smiled and nodded, but inside I felt hurt. All the time we had spent together felt ignored in that moment. Her friends glanced at me and laughed politely. I just smiled and nodded, but inside I was thinking, she had just hidden me from them from everyone. I felt a mix of hurt and disbelief, like I didn't even exist in her world at that moment. I kept eating. I didn't say anything, didn't argue, didn't even look upset. But inside, yeah, it hurt. Not just because she introduced me that way, but because it hit me that she wasn't proud of me. She cared more about appearances, what her friends thought, than about me being who I am. And in that moment, I realized something. If she couldn't see me for who I really am, then our relationship, all the time and effort we'd shared, that wasn't enough for her. And honestly, that's when I knew the story was just getting started. I'm 31. I run a construction and interior business. I started from nothing and built it myself. I like my work. I like building things, seeing them come together. Last week I finished a kitchen renovation. Everything fitted perfectly and the client was happy. That's what matters to me. My hands are rough, my clothes are usually dirty, and I don't care. That's just who I am. Emma is completely different. She's 27, a fashion designer, and she lives in a completely different world. Everything's about style, appearances, brand names. Her apartment looks like a magazine spread. She goes to events, launches, shows, the kind of life where people notice every little thing about you. We met because she needed some renovation work for her studio, and I was recommended. First time we met, I was covered in paint and dust, and she was in her usual sharp, stylish self. Somehow we clicked. I think she liked that I didn't act like I cared about impressing her. I didn't comment on her clothes or her style. I just treated her like a normal person. 6 months into dating, things were good. Just the two of us. Then there was the Cartier ring. Emma had wanted it for months. Every time we walked past the store, she would stop, stare at the display, sigh, and whisper, "One day." I noticed it every time, and it stayed in my mind. I knew how much she wanted that ring, and I wondered if I'd ever be the one to give it to her. I could have bought it for her, easily, but it wasn't about the money. I wanted her to earn it, or at least have it feel meaningful. I wanted her to feel proud of it for herself, not just because some guy gave it to her. But then I started noticing little things. She hesitated when introducing me to her friends, acted nervous when I met her colleagues. I tried to tell myself I was overthinking, but that dinner made it impossible to ignore. I felt small, like I didn't fully belong in her world. When her friends saw me and she said, "He's just my cousin," that's when I realized Emma wasn't proud of me. She liked me, but only in private, in a world where no one else could see me for who I really am. A construction guy, hands rough, clothes dirty, not glamorous. And in her world that apparently wasn't enough. It wasn't just a moment of embarrassment. It was the realization that the person I cared about cared more about what other people thought than about me. That stung more than I expected. I didn't argue that night. I just finished dinner, smiled, nodded, and let her do her thing. But inside I was thinking, if she can't be proud of me now, she's not ready for the real me, and that's the thing. I knew at that moment that this wasn't just about a dinner or her friends. It was about values, respect, pride, and who we really are when no one else is watching. It set the stage for everything that happened next. The party, the ring, Sarah, and the lesson Emma was about to learn. Because I realized something else too. I'm done shrinking for anyone. And if she wanted to hide me, I'd find someone who wouldn't. The next day I couldn't stop thinking about that dinner. Not just the "he's just my cousin" line, but the way Emma looked at me when she said it, like I was some accessory she didn't want anyone to notice, I decided I had to ask her about it. I wasn't angry, just frustrated. So later that night, when we were alone, I asked, "Why did you introduce me like that?" She sighed. "It's not what you think. It's just, those were important people. My friends, partners. I couldn't have you there looking. Well, like you usually do." I froze for a second. Then I asked slowly, "So, you're embarrassed by me? Because of my work, my clothes, my hands?" Emma looked down, fidgeted with her napkin, and didn't meet my eyes. Her silence said more than words could. Emma looked away. "No, I'm not embarrassed. I have to maintain my image. You know how it is." And there it was, the truth. She cared more about appearances than about me. About who I really am. About the fact that I built my business from the ground up. That I work hard. That I'm not just some guy coasting through life. She didn't see any of that. She only saw what didn't fit her picture of the perfect boyfriend. I tried to explain. I thought we were supposed to be a team. That it was us against the world, not me hiding for your friends or your image. She waved it off. "It's not like that. I need to look professional. You understand, right?" I understood her reasoning. But I also realized something bigger. If she couldn't be proud of me, proud of who I really am, nothing else mattered. Her words hurt, yes, but the worst part was knowing she didn't value me enough to stand by me in front of her friends. We didn't yell. We didn't throw things. I just nodded because arguing wouldn't fix it. Her priorities were clear. She was choosing perception over reality, appearances over substance. And I realized I couldn't change that. That night I thought about the Cartier ring she always dreamed of. Funny thing, she obsessed over it for months, yet here she was, worried about what people thought of the guy she was dating. Meanwhile, I could have bought that ring for her any time. But it wasn't about the ring. It was about respect, about being proud of the person you're with. About standing by someone, not hiding them. And that's when it hit me. I knew what I had to do next. The fancy party she'd be going to next weekend, the one with all her friends and important people. That's where I would show her the truth. Not by yelling or proving her wrong, but by letting her see who I really am, and who she could have had if she'd just been proud of me. Sometimes people only learn lessons when the truth is staring them in the face, and I was about to make sure she saw it. The weekend came, and the fancy party Emma had been talking about for weeks finally happened. I thought about the dinner, the cousin comment, and the Cartier ring. I planned to make sure Emma would see everything clearly. I got the ring, planned to wear my usual clothes, and let Sarah come with me. I didn't plan revenge. I just wanted her to see the truth. Big venue, crowded with designers, photographers, people dressed to the nines. Emma was in her element, laughing, posing, chatting with everyone, looking like the world revolved around her. And I showed up, but I wasn't alone. Sarah came with me. She's a model I met through work. Smart, funny, and easy to talk to. And yes, she was beautiful. But I wasn't showing off. I had gotten the ring earlier, just for this moment, and I wanted Emma to see the truth. We walked in, hand, calm and confident. I could feel Emma's eyes immediately. She froze for a moment, her smile faltering, then tried to act normal, but I could see her hesitation. I didn't even look at her first. I just smiled at Sarah, talked to her, and moved through the crowd. Then I saw Emma's face. It dropped. Her smile faded, her eyes widened. And then she saw it. The Cartier ring. The exact one she had always dreamed about. Big, sparkling, perfect. Now it was on Sarah's finger. I didn't say a word to Emma. I didn't have to. Every step I took with Sarah, every laugh was enough. I wanted Emma to see it all. The hand-holding, the ring, how Sarah looked at me. I wanted her to feel the regret and realize the guy she had hidden from her friends could give someone everything she wanted. Emma tried to say something. Maybe wait or my name. I didn't hear it over the music. All I saw was her frozen, trying to process what she was seeing. Sarah squeezed my hand. I smiled at her. She didn't need to do anything. Emma got the message. She had made her choice before. She hid me, she prioritized her image, and now she was watching what she had given up. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about making her feel small. It was about fairness. About finally showing her the truth. The guy she dismissed, the guy she thought she needed to hide, could make someone happy and fulfill dreams she had only dreamed about for herself. And as we moved through the party, talking and laughing, I could feel Emma watching, trying to act normal but failing. She couldn't hide what she felt. And I realized I wasn't angry, I wasn't cruel. I was free. Finally, I was with someone who didn't need me to hide who I am. That's the thing. I didn't need her to learn it in words. She learned it with her eyes. And sometimes that's the lesson that sticks. After that party, things changed. I didn't reach out to Emma. She tried a text here, a message there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean something along those lines. I read them, didn't reply. There was nothing to say. The truth was simple. She made her choice. She chose appearances over me, over what we could have had. That was her decision, not mine. Sarah and I kept seeing each other slowly at first. Sarah and I kept seeing each other. Coffee on weekends, simple dinners, lazy evenings at home. No pretending, no hiding, just us. And it felt good, real, easy. For the first time in a long time, I didn't have to hide who I was. After several months of dating Sarah, things got serious. Then one day I bought the ring. The exact Cartier ring Emma had always dreamed of. But this time it wasn't for Emma. It was for Sarah. When I gave it to her, she smiled, laughed a little, maybe teared up. She didn't care about anyone else's opinion. She didn't care about appearances. She cared about us, and that was all that mattered. Emma? She probably still thinks about it. She sees us sometimes, hears about us. I know she regrets hiding me, putting her image over our relationship. And that's fine. I don't hold it against her. She had her chance and she made her choice. It's kind of funny when you think about it. She worried about her image so much, tried to hide me from her friends, and in the end, the guy she didn't value, the guy she thought wasn't good enough, ended up with everything she wanted. Respect, love, and the ring she had dreamed of. I don't feel revenge. I don't feel mean. I feel free. I'm with someone who sees me, appreciates me, and doesn't need me to hide. Sarah's amazing. She's everything I didn't even realize I needed. And Emma, well, she learned a lesson, probably the hard way, but for me it was a turning point, a reminder that you don't shrink for anyone. You don't hide who you are, and sometimes letting someone else see the truth is the best thing you can do. I looked at Sarah, the ring on her finger, my hand in hers, and smiled. Finally, everything made sense. We were on the right side of the story, and for once I didn't have to pretend anyway. That's my story. Life sometimes teaches lessons the hard way, and sometimes it shows you who really matters. Thanks for reading, everyone. I really appreciate you sticking with me. Hope it reminds you to never hide who you are, and to value the people who actually see you.